Raider Nation, we went into Arrowhead and smacked Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City straight in the mouth. Right out the box, all game long, smacked him in the mouth. And I loved every second of it. If you could, like this video, if you loved every second of that ass whooping we put on Kansas City, like this video. At the same time, if you could, subscribe, turn on those notifications, I would definitely appreciate it. But Vegas had us as an 11.5-point underdog. If you're an 11.5-point underdog, that basically means Vegas tells you you have no chance at winning. None whatsoever. And we went into KC and smacked them in the mouth. Not only did we smack them in the mouth, but we basically ruined their chances at home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And I loved it. I loved every second of it. So, guys, I appreciate you guys clicking on, viewing this video. If you could, the last video that I posted, I reached 1,000 subscribers. Again, I appreciate all you guys, and I announced the winners of that, and I'm going to do that again. So, Stu Savage at West Coast Sav, if you could, email me at realraider805@gmail.com. And I actually did 2 winners on that giveaway. The second winner is Eddie and Margie Santos at Ed and Margie 1. If you guys could, email me at realraider805@gmail.com. I definitely appreciate it. I know it's the holiday, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit to respond to me, but email me so I can give you the instructions on how to redeem your giveaway. So, and also, guys, I'm also going to announce I'm going to do another giveaway at 2,500 subscribers. So if you aren't a subscriber, hit that button. You guys have been amazing for me just the last week or so. I skyrocketed with subscribers. Never thought I'd hit 1,000 as fast as I did. You guys have been amazing. So if you guys can get me to 2,500, I would definitely appreciate it. And I will show you my appreciation and do another giveaway when I hit 2,500. So let's get into this, guys. I mean, there's a couple things. One, we are now the bullies on the block. This defense is flying around and hitting everything in sight. You know, it's not just on the defensive side. It's on the offensive side. There was a highlight that I saw where Andre James was locked up with Chris Jones, and Chris Jones kind of spun out of him. As soon as he finished his spin, I think it was Greg Van Roten that smacked him in the mouth and put him on his ass. That's a 6'6", 300-pound Chris Jones, one of the best D tackles in the league, and we're beating him up on the offensive line as well. You know, he had a decent game, but the O-line kept coming at him. You know, and I know the offense has work they got to do, and there's things they got to correct. But one of the things, before I jump into the defense, because I'm going to give the defense all the credit in the world, but the one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a ton of credit to this offensive line. You know, we are down Colton Miller. We're down Michael Mayer, and Michael Mayer has been improving his run blocking ability over the last handful of weeks. So losing him was a big hit. But this offensive line, as soon as we hit the second half, that Kansas City Chiefs defense knew we were going to run the ball because we were struggling throwing the ball. So they were stacking the box. And we were able to get Zamir White to pop off 145 yards on the ground, averaging just over 6.5 yards a carry. That is huge against a good Kansas City defense. So for the offensive line to come out and play the way they did, I got to give them all the credit in the world. I loved it. I loved every moment of it, and they were beating up that Chiefs D-line and linebacker core because Zamir White was just running up and down that field. So huge credit to the offensive line. Now, 2 things before I get deep into just talking about the defense, but I want to point out a couple things. Is number 1, our offense did struggle. Aiden O'Connell, he didn't complete a pass in the second, third, or fourth quarter. We struggled to get first downs. What that meant was that Kansas City's offense was on the field a lot. And when that happens, and that was my knock earlier in the season, when the offense can't sustain drives, that means the defense is on the field and the defense gets tired. The defense still balled. They only gave up 7 points in the first half, and Kansas City didn't score their second touchdown until later into the fourth quarter. And Kansas City really only had one big play. One big play. Usually Patrick Mahomes will start to find his rhythm, and next thing you know, it's big play after big play after big play because he for some reason finds his rhythm against our Raider team. He could not find it. They had one good play that was pretty easy. It was a deep dig route to number 17. I forget the kid's name, but number 17 caught it. He ran off for another 10, 15 yards or so. That was really the only play. We had two fourth down stops, two huge fourth down stops. One was on 4th and goal. Nate Hobbs batted the ball away. I mean, this defense played lights out. And you can't give Patrick Graham enough credit for what he's starting to turn this defense into, or what he did turn this defense into. I think the last time I checked, we're now ranked 5th. We are now ranked 5th, I think, in total points given up and total yards. I mean, what this defense is doing is damn amazing. So, again, hit that like button if you just think this defense is balling out like the old school Oakland Raider defense is used to. Hit that like button and give the credit all to the defense. Another thing I want to point out is this defense learned. One of my keys to victory when I dropped my video earlier in last week about just kind of the key matchups and the keys to victory is one of the things is Patrick Graham and this defense had to learn from the mistakes that they made when we faced Kansas City, just 3 weeks ago. They need to learn from those mistakes because I know what was going to happen is Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, that offense was going to understand what we did, and they were going to replicate what they did against us earlier in the season. We scored 14 unanswered when we faced them the first time around in Allegiant Stadium. We got up 14 real quick, and I believe they scored 17 unanswered. 17 unanswered points. And so Patrick Graham and our defense had to learn what mistakes did we make that first matchup and correct them. And guess what? They did. They corrected those mistakes. And that's where you have an elite defensive coordinator and you have an elite defensive core to be able to understand the mistakes that you made, correct them, and continue to dominate. And that's what we did. So I want to give all the credit in the world to Patrick Graham and this defense. Now, look, there's a couple players that just stood out to me. Obviously, one, Jack Jones. Jack Jones with that pick six and the stare down on his way. The stare down of Patrick Mahomes on his way into the end zone was one of the best things I've seen all season. I mean, the swag, the confidence that kid brings to the defensive side is absolutely huge. And then you got Nate Hobbs, 11 tackles, Robert Spillane, 11 tackles, and then let's talk about Malcolm Coons. Malcolm Coons is that edge rush, that defensive end that we've been looking for to be opposite of Max Crosby. I understand I've dropped a couple of videos about Tyree Wilson, and I understand he's struggling, but let's put that aside for a second. Malcolm Coons is who we've been looking for to play opposite of Max Crosby. When he came out of Buffalo, I knew that he was going to be – I thought he was going to be a decent to good edge rusher, but more situational edge rusher, third and long, third down type. But he's even surprised me with his run-stopping ability. Over the last handful of weeks, Malcolm Coons has proven the more and more we give him playing time, his run-stopping ability is damn good. I mean, he is stepping up to the plate. Not just in his run-stopping, but, 3 sacks. 3 sacks against Kansas City. Malcolm Coons deserves to get a contract extension at the end of the season. Whoever the head coach is at the end of the season, you better start drawing up that contract extension because we got to lock this kid up. We got to lock this kid up for many more years because as of right now, what I'm seeing, he is that edge rusher we need opposite of Max Crosby. And Max Crosby knows it as well. He's going on social media, and he's given all the support in the world to Malcolm Coons. So again, like this video if you think Malcolm Coons should be that edge rusher opposite of Max Crosby. Because I'll tell you right now, based on what we've been seeing over the last handful of weeks, he's got to be that guy. And then let's do this. Lastly, I want to drop a question on here for you guys. Do you think Antonio Pierce has just locked up his case for being the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders? This is a divisional win. This is a divisional win against still a powerhouse. Look, Kansas City is still a damn good team. Even with the struggles they have, they're a damn good team. So let me know. Let me know if this was the game that locked up the decision for Mark Davis to hire on Antonio Pierce as the head coach. I'm going to drop a video later in this week, guys, about my opinion on it. But let me know in the comments below what you think. And I'm going to drop a couple more videos this week. Basically, the situation with the playoffs. Now, look, I understand it's a long shot, but I'll tell you right now, it was just a few weeks ago we had about a 2% chance to make the playoffs. This week, I think we're at a 13% chance. If we beat the Colts, I think we move up to something like a 36, 37% chance. If we beat the Broncos and a couple things go right, we could find ourselves into the playoffs. Again, I know it's a long shot, so don't come on the comments and being like, "Oh, you're living a pipe dream," or whatever you want to do. I understand that, but if we have a shot, we have a shot. If we're still in the hunt, we are still in the hunt, and we got to talk about it. So, again, guys, I appreciate you sticking along with me. If you could, like the video, subscribe, turn those notifications. If I get to 2,500 subscribers, I'm going to do another giveaway, and I'm actually going to donate a little bit to a local charity here as well, and I'll give you more information on that. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I know that this Raider win made it even that much better. But enjoy the holidays. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I'm out.